Bum, 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 ba-dum. Hey, ba-dum, bum, bum. Ladies and gentlemen, Coco Sports proudly presents Wrestle AM. It's half wrestling show, half morning show, pretty much all BS. And of course, you got the Coco crew here holding it down live. Yours truly, greetings from the Gulf Coast. I'm hailing from Mobile in Sweet Home, Alabama. That's right, sexiest man on all of Internet Wrestling Radio. Boom, boom, here shaking the room. And of course, you're there way across the pond on the outskirts of Tokyo, Japan, the huge one, the founder, the CEO, Dave Koco. What's up, brother?
Nothing much. It's great to be back, man. Great to
Oh,
be
had to dust off
back.
the microphone.
I was like, you know what? I'm not coming back until I hear something about CM Punk. And I was like, CM Punk left. I left. CM Punk might be coming back. Hello, welcome back. It feels great to be back. So booms, there's rumors everywhere. You
No,
know,
I know.
and it's the type of rumors. It's weird. Wrestling fans are excited. Wrestling fans are pumped up. We're not bitter. We're not angry. Don't go on Twitter. That doesn't count. Let's be
No.
honest. Don't go on Twitter. We're saying like real human beings, not Twitter. Sorry, Twitter. Follow us at KocoSports. Okay, outside of the assholes on Twitter that nothing makes them happy, I think most wrestling fans in real life are happy. I'm excited. Booms,
Yeah,
why are we so excited? Why are we so pumped up? Why are we nervous? Why is like, oh my God, it's time?
there's not one, but two reports going around. I think it was bodyslam.net. Even the Wrestling Observer is even starting to report that it appears that AEW has signed both Daniel Bryan and CM Punk. Actually, I should call him Bryan Danielson now because that's probably what his name's going to wind up being. So Bryan Danielson and CM Punk to deals. AEW has yet to confirm this, so I do want to put that as of this recording. AEW has not confirmed it. So, but it's looking like it's strong. There's been some hints dropped. So this is pretty big, Coco. I mean, AEW's ever since they've started going back to live touring, they've had a lot of momentum go with them. I mean, they had Andrade El Idolo debut. They've had Malachi Black debut. Their last show did over 1 million views. They clearly have got some momentum with them, and I think this is just really pushing things over the top.
Yeah, and I think it's exciting. And the thing is, a lot of people are like, why is now? Why this? I feel. Hear me out. Let me put on my little theory hat.
Mm-hmm.
I feel they waited for the audience to come back. Like, I think this deal has been done for a long time, but why have them come back to nothing? That's what I'm thinking.
Exactly. Less
Um,
money.
and here's the thing: so many people are so excited. There's so many teases. If this doesn't come through, there's only so many times you can break this old man's heart. And as far as Daniel Bryan, Bryan Danielson, I'm super excited. Can't wait to see him happen. Let me tell you something. Fun fact: I was the first person to ever interview Daniel Bryan. You think he remembers that?
Mm.
Second fun fact, I'm going to call him by the wrong name for the rest of my life. I finally got used to calling him Daniel Bryan like a fucking month ago. And now he's going back to Bryan Danielson. My old man brain can't handle it. I'm super excited. Can't wait to see what he does. And I hope he gets a great send off. Now, I'm scared. Boom, boom. Hold me.
All right. This is one I'm going to put on my producer cap because, so
All right.
anybody who follows this knows that I work in television. Dave Coco, put on your booker cap because, he used to work as a booker at one point in time in history. So I'm going to tell you how I would do it, and I want to see how you would do it just to see if it differs any. First of all, I would not make their signings, their debuts a surprise. I feel like these two gentlemen have a big enough clout where you would want to promote that in advance in hopes of scoring either more television ratings and slash or pay-per-view buys. So I would do something like probably like 2-3 weeks in advance saying, okay, we have signed CM Punk. We're going to debut him in Chicago at, I think it's All Out. I think it's where that event is. It's going to be there. And, he's going to come out and he's going to tell us what his plans are, what his future is for All Elite Wrestling and, try to drive up pay-per-view buys there. I would probably debut Bryan Danielson a little bit later. I'd still do the same thing. Go, but that's not the only, even I would probably even do that at the pay per view. Like, that's not the only big signing. We've, locked in Bryan Danielson. Well, if you tune in on Wednesday to Dynamite, we'll let you know about when when you can actually see him live and in person. Hope to drive up some ticket sales. That's how I would at least handle the debut part. Coco, put on your book. That's just me thinking, like, in terms of TV. You're a booker. How would you do it? Would you do it differently?
I would do it. I would do it a little bit differently, but I like the way you're thinking, and that's the way I would do it. A little bit. I just tweak it a little bit. First off, to add something that the owner, Khan, has said, there's also another big surprise, bigger than this. So Brock, television 24/7, Okada. There's not many bigger surprises than this. You know what I mean? Working agreement with New Japan. Yeah. Asahi TV. That's going to be fun. Yay, Asahi TV. Sue everyone. Just copy strike when it's not even legal. Ruin New Japan's reputation little by little. But no. So there'll be a third big announcement. I don't know if it's Brock. I don't know if it's Okada. I don't know if it's New Japan. At this point, no offense to New Japan, I don't think it's as big as Daniel Bryan and CM Punk, It's like, yeah, give us Okada and cool, the other guys came along too. That's mean, but Bushi, that's true. He can get a Bushi. Get a little Golden Lovers revenge. As far as booking goes, I would bring Daniel Bryan out right away. Because if you wait, there won't be that hot. I would wait for CM Punk. I basically agree with you on CM Punk, but instead of saying Daniel Bryan's coming later. Because as a fan, you get CM Punk, he returns, like, oh, Daniel Bryan's coming later. Who gives a shit? No offense. We got the guy that said would never come back. You gotta. Right now, I love Daniel Bryan, I love CM Punk, but the way CM Punk left compared to where Daniel Bryan left, there's way more people interested in CM Punk, his return. So Daniel Bryan, I would put out right away. As soon as that ink dries, get out on television right fucking now. Go. What are you doing here? I want to take a week off. Shut the fuck up. You already signed the contract. Get out there now. So I'd send Daniel Bryan out as soon as that ink dries, okay? CM Punk, I would build up for the Chicago, which everyone, this is Captain Obvious here. There's also the Chicago before, which people are saying first dance, kind of like last dance, with the Chicago Bulls. There's a lot of teas. But I would advertise him to be at the Chicago pay-per-view or Chicago first dance, which, right now is rumored to be the Dynamite beforehand where he just shows up. But whenever I advertise him, he would show up a week earlier. And hear me out. Daniel Bryan would, he's having success, but he just doesn't have many friends. And then whoever his arch rival is, who knows? It could be any random heel. Most likely Cody, because Cody wants to be with the stars. And I think he kind of deserves that. Cody gets a lot of heat. But let's say Cody's cutting a promo, and he's like, you're all fucking alone, whatever, It could be any heel. Replace it with any generic heel. And he's cutting a promo, you're all alone. The lights go black, and CM Punk isn't supposed to be there for a week. He's not been advertised. The lights come back on. It's Daniel Bryan. And he's like, you got fucking no one. He turns around, CM Punk punches him, roll the credits. I can't wait to see CM Punk next week when he was officially advertised. That's how I book it. So,
all right.
Yeah,
all right.
Go ahead, sir.
I like that. I'm going to say here, my next question would be, aside from Kenny Omega, I think Kenny Omega with both of these guys is just an obvious dream match here. But aside from Kenny Omega, any particular matchups you're looking forward to?
Those two versus the Young Bucks would be something special. It would have. Kenny Omega is obviously the fucking hottest ticket in town. If you don't like Kenny Omega, you're just fucking lying to yourself at this point. You know what I mean? It's just like, oh, I don't like Kenny Omega. Listen, Japan said this best, and I fucking agree with him 100%. If you don't like Kenny Omega, don't you dare say you like Ric Flair. It's like, what the fuck, dude? What the fuck is wrong with you? Like, if you're a WWE fan, you're like, oh, I like Roman Reigns, so he'll work better. Hey, okay, cool. But if you're a legit wrestling fan, and you're like, oh, I don't like what Kenny's doing, it's like, well, then I can't fucking help you, bro. You know what I mean? It's just, what the fuck? So obviously Kenny Omega, a Cowboy would be great. I'm trying to think who else. Yeah, that's about it, man. The problem is the talent is spread out right now. But the great news is AEW is bringing that talent together and companies are working together. You know, so I feel like at one time New Japan was on top of the world. I feel at one time Ring of Honor was on top of the world as far as talent in ring wrestling wise. Then the talent separated. But you have WWE holding everyone hostage, and then you have the rest of the world where the talent's spread out, but they're working together. And AEW slowly but surely is bringing that talent in, you know? So it's going to be exciting. But we're very positive. Can I be negative for a second? I know we haven't been negative in a while here on YouTube.
Right.
My biggest fear. Hold me, boom, boom. I was trying to bring this up earlier. I was kind of want to leave on a positive note here. What if CM Punk is like Kenta? Not Kenta from Noah, God bless him, but Kenta in New Japan. Ooh. What if he's just not himself? What if he goes out there and Kenta's it up? I mean, we could lie to ourselves like New Japan fans do. We could be like, oh yeah, I was saying Kenta from Noah. No, it's not. Like, literally, if someone said, oh, Kenta was kidnapped and they just replaced him, I'd be like, oh, okay, makes sense. Do you think we get a New Japan Kenta with an AEW Punk? How many people in New Japan fans? Well, listen, if you're going to be like Kenta is the same as he was in Noah, just why do you evaluate talent? That's like me. I gained a shit ton of weight. I used to be fat, then I got really skinny, and now I'm getting fat again. That's like you saying, oh no, Dave's not fat right now. I'm fucking fat. It's like, no, you have to fucking evaluate yourself and others on fucking past performances. I know that's fucking unpopular, but you do. Booms. What if he's Kenta 2.0? I mean, think about it. Punk stole Go to Sleep. What if he stole Not Trying?
As far as like putting them in, well, I think off the bat, I mean, I wouldn't put him against Omega right off the bat because I feel like you got to build to that. But I would love to see him get like a verbal exchange with somebody like Eddie Kingston or MJF, or hell, maybe the first one, you know, the kind of like the greetings would be against like the Acclaimed. Because I think Max Caster and, you know, Punk can probably have a little decent exchange right there verbally, and then when he starts out, like, he can wrestle one, have the other guy interfere, and then now it takes him, you know, he's getting established, and it's not going to kill the Acclaimed if they get beat by CM Punk, and I think it could boost them up just a little bit. So there's that. As far as Bryan Danielson goes, I think maybe like a good first opponent would be somebody like against like the Factory or maybe Angelico with the Hardy Family Office.
Maybe Punk.
That could be a decent first match, or maybe hell the mid of the year, you know, Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page. I think that could be some good stuff. Good place to start for them.
I think Kingston versus Daniel Bryanson, or I don't know. I'm gonna call him the American Dragon. Fuck it, it's just easier. Kingston versus the American Dragon is money, and MJF versus Punk is money. I think that's what you have to book the feud. Those two feuds are money. I think you reverse them, that's a little good. But I think Kingston, Daniel Bryan is money, and I think MJF, Punk is money. Because I think if you reverse those two rounds, it doesn't work as good. You know what I mean? So... Right. Those would be awesome opening segments, or awesome opening rivalries. And then I would love to see them, if they're in their top peak condition, I'd love to see a main event, a big pay-per-view against each other. You know what I mean? It'd be nice. I mean, not like Christian and Hardy. I don't want to see a WWE-style match. I mean, I want to see if these two fuckers get in the ring. I want to see Ring of Honor fucking glory. You know what I mean? I want to see the Ring of Honor days one last time. Obviously, they can't do that match every time, but just one more. You know what I mean? One more. Just main event, CM Punk, Daniel Bryan. God forbid if you say it's the last match ever. And granted, booms, we're old. We understand. Fucking age catches up with you. But just one more great match. Not a feud. My biggest fear is, and I love Christian Cage more than a straight man should.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't want to see Christian Cage versus Hardy. And I don't want to see those two do that. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, let's be completely honest. The last Christian Cage versus Hardy match was the most average thing ever. Average called back. You know what? That was so average that average is offended. It was the most mediocre thing in the fucking world. I don't want to see that. Like, I know this sounds dick. I would rather them retire. I'd rather them not return. You know what I mean? But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. But if they're in peak condition, Omega, Okada, Ibushi, you got what, the 5 best in-ring wrestlers that are still active today? I mean, you put Okada, Ibushi with the New Japan connection. You put Omega and these two, and let's say they're still close to their prime. Who's fucking better? I mean, maybe you got Dragon from LIJ. Maybe Will Ospreay if you like that fucking style of pro wrestling. I personally do, but that's not everyone's cup of tea. Who do you got? Who do you have that is like you legit got the elite? If these guys can go 70% of what they could go in their prime, that's the crazy part. If CM Punk is only 70% or Daniel Bryan's only 70% of what they used to be, they're still better than 95% of the world. Are we getting too nerdy with math here?
Yes.
All right, just checking. So I'm super excited. I just, I don't want to see Kenta squared. I try to continue with the math thing. I've been hanging out with too many hockey analytic people lately.
All right. Well, here's another question here. Now, I don't believe this is going to be enough to have immediate effect on the ratings in terms of I don't think that this is going to propel AEW to beat Monday Night Raw in terms of, views and the demo, but I think it's a big step in the right direction. So I guess my question for you is going to be, do you think it's a matter of if or when AEW surpasses Monday Night Raw? Do you think it's contingent on if certain things happen, or do you think it's only a matter of time when it happens?
The only if that's even a factor. Okay, first off, I want to say something that's controversial. I don't think these two matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
I think the win is happening no matter what. And let's say this is all a big fucking gag. Ha ha ha, we got the internet again. There's no Daniel Bryan, there's no CM Punk. We fucking got him, boys. Let's say that's the situation. I still say there's a win. The only if that matters is if Vince McMahon turns his product around and he's too stubborn. I mean, you got to remember, people are like, oh, AEW's not doing that great. No one in a million years expected him to be here. No one. They're in sniffing distance of SmackDown and Raw. And no one saw it coming. Granted, they do dip down sometimes. And everyone has a fucking laugh. Oh, Vince's success is my success. I don't actually like the product I watch. But I like to pretend I'm fucking Vince McMahon in a bedroom. That's you, WWE fans. But in reality, I love these guys with all my heart. If they never come, I still think when happens. I don't think... And they have to change their product tremendously at WWE. They are a very rich... They are the New York Yankees. They are the Tokyo Giants. They are a very rich kid holding on to past glory. That's what they are. That's all they are. A win is happening with or without them.
Yeah, I can see it. I don't know how soon it would happen. I mean, hell, if you look back at wrestling history, WCW signed Hulk Hogan in 1994. And, trust me, Hulk Hogan, especially at that time, there was nothing bigger than that. I mean,
Yeah, it was
he,
huge.
yeah, that was huge. Now, did WCW immediately jump to the top of the ratings and, money draw, whatever you want to measure it, back in 1994, shortly after that signing? No, it took till 1990, I think it was like 96. It was after Labor Day weekend, when Scott Hall made that surprise appearance, and then they got some buzz there, and then they formed the NWO. It took some time for WCW to find that footing and start to win. So I don't think there's going to be a magic bullet where it's, assuming this is all true that Bryan Danielson and CM Punk have signed. I don't think they start beating Raw like the next week. I think it's a step in the right direction, but I don't think it's going to be a huge victory. Now, if you want to talk about the long game, that's when I get scared, to be honest, because WWE, if there's one thing that they're good at playing the long game. I mean, because, and I've made this comparison before, WWE is like the McDonald's of pro wrestling. I mean, you recognize the brand, you know what you're getting before you even walk in the door, you know what the menu is. It's been the same for like 50 years. You go in, you order, even though there's like a mom and pop shop that's right next door that, hand pats the hamburger patties out, and they can customize it any way you want. It's just a huge juggernaut, and I feel like WWE strategy is we're not going to try to beat AEW. We're just going to wait them out, let them burn themselves out, because they're going to be spending money. They're going to be touring. There could be egos involved when contracts start coming up. Are they going to try to start poaching or not taking, but making offers to the talent there? Can they survive that? So that in the short term, I've got confidence in AEW, but in the long term, that's when I get nervous.
Yeah, so it should be interesting. I mean, it's not going to be a simple thing. The problem is, it's either we're seeing a swing of a new company taking over. I mean, these are my top things. We wake up the sleeping giant. The sleeping giant is the New York Yankees. It's the Tokyo Giants. It's WWE. You wake up the sleeping giant tries, you're dead. But here's the thing. I don't know if the sleeping giant has that war in him anymore. You know what I mean? There's so many times that you go to battle and you're just tired of fighting. And think about it. It happens all the time in stories. It happens in real life. Every bar has that one veteran who's just like, you know what, I'm just going to fucking drink and chill the fuck out and not care. Every story has that old man Wolverine. He's like, fuck it. What does it matter? Well, does Vince have one more battle in him? Does he? Or is he just a guy that's like, fuck it, dude. What does any of this matter? So we either wake up a sleeping giant. The sleeping giant says fuck it and sells it to the mouse. Or we see a swing in all directions and maybe there's a panic and let Triple H run. WWE. But either way, they are making an impact. Sorry, Dixie Carter. And it's exciting. I mean, right now, and maybe I'm wrong, you have two types of fans that watch WWE. You have, I pretend to be Vince McMahon in a bedroom. I've always watched WWE. Their success is my success. And then you have the dun 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 dun. Wrestling on every channel is good. Everything's amazing. I don't understand why we don't get along. I mean, I love seeing guys wrestle, but those two demographics are small. You know what I mean? And they're getting smaller every fucking day. So it's gonna be interesting. And here's the thing: the casual fans honestly don't give a fuck if it's AEW or WWE. Boom boom, you live in a sweet home Alabama. You probably are surrounded by people in your workplace that are not wrestling fans. They probably see wrestling as the circus, which I always said casual fans do. So if you had tickets, free tickets, and said, hey, you want to go watch pro wrestling tonight? Or hey, do you want to see the circus? Because for the casual fans, it's the same thing. They're not going to ask if it's WWE or AEW. They're like, yeah, sure, fuck it. Let's go see it. And then as soon as they see someone, like, oh, CM Punk, I know that guy. He was in the circus one time before when he came into town. So these casual fans don't really give a fuck. Because here's the thing. We're super wrestling nerds. Booms. I don't know if you vouch for that, but I'm pretty sure we're super wrestling nerds. Do you give a fuck what circus you're going to when it's in town?
Do I? Well,
if someone said you go to Clown Be Clowns Circus or Extreme Clowns fucking University, and they're both putting on circuses.
Oh,
you don't give a fuck.
No, in that term, no, because I remember back in the day when it was like Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey, and then I think one time there was one that came into town, was the Universal Circus, and it's just like you don't care. You just want to go see the damn circus. You want to see some trapeze artists and lion tamers and and fire breathers and clowns.
And that's what the casual fans are. That's the casual fans. So all these people are like, oh, you don't get the casual fans. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck.
There you go.
Don't give a fuck.
That's something I think is understated right there when it comes to like casual fans. Yeah, you want to get casual fans, but here's the thing. You got to get your base fired up. You got to get your hardcore fans, because if they're excited and the casual fans are watching the hardcore fans get excited, like, what are you guys getting so excited about? And they explain why. Oh, okay, now I can get excited too.
Yeah. So, and also too, like, example, this happens probably to a lot of people if, you're a decent, normal human being. When you're waiting in line for an event, someone will be going for the first time or not give a shit. They're like, the circus in town's going to go. And they're going to be in line and say, what do you think of the show? It happened at me at Ring of Honor. It happened with me at Impact. It happened with me there. And that's the fucking first impression they're going to have, is your hardcore base. In your hardcore base is, oh, well, it's this. So if you go to WWE, WWE's in town, and you fucking run into me and Boo Boo, like, how's it going? This product's pretty shit, but hope you have a good night, brother. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I don't want WWE to die. I just want it to stop sucking, and I don't think that's going to happen in my lifetime. I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. I hope to be wrong. I mean, I was wrong before. Booms, remember this comment? Once John Cena leaves WWE, fucking the product will be better. God, was I wrong? Was I fucking wrong? I want to apologize. Not enough fucking hotheads on the internet apologize for being wrong. I legit thought when John Cena left, the product was going to be better. Oh, God. It doesn't matter if it's John Cena or Roman Reigns. It's going to be shit. So, sometimes you have to admit it, you're wrong. I was wrong. But yeah, hopefully I'm right about this. And I think, and not only that, but even if like WWE always wins and AEW is always in second, and this is a message to WWE fans, especially the diehards. If you like everything, fucking, okay, whatever, you fucking pervert. But for WWE fans that don't like AEW, why does it bother you that there's a product that they enjoy? And don't say they fucking, and it is another thing that bothers me too. They're like, oh, well, they always take cheap shots at WWE. What? Are you fucking kidding me? The fuck is wrong with you? How do you think WWE became a monopoly? Fuck, I don't know. Sometimes thinking makes my brain hurt. Or that's not true. Sometimes just reading Twitter makes my brain hurt. Friends don't let friends talk on Twitter. Guys, follow me at KocoSports on Twitter. Anything else you got to say, Booms?
No, I think that's a good place to wrap it up for now. Coco, you want to tell folks where they can find us after hours?
Sure. KocoSports on Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Also, we'll be streaming Let's Watches and live wrestling shows on Twitch. And slowly but surely, we're getting back into this. I'd like to have fun without being sued by, what's their name? Asahi TV. Asahi TV. Are we cool, bro? We cool? Yeah? Are we loud? Are you going to do that interview with Asahi TV? Feel free to contact me. I contacted you through ESPN and NBC. Still no contact back. Asahi TV. I'd like to interview you. You think they'll ever respond?
Magic 8 Ball says doubtful.
All right. But Booms, we're going to start watching wrestling on Twitch. If this is up in time, we'll probably be watching AEW this week. And we'll probably do SmackDown in the future because people have been saying SmackDown's good. What if we watch SmackDown on Twitch and we're just like, holy shit, fucking WWE fans are right, this is good. But I heard, from people I trust, like Wrestling Ranted, that all the products have been good lately. I'm just afraid. I'm afraid to leave AEW and New Japan. Well, I left New Japan because they fucking sued me, and they're not doing exactly the greatest. But, let's just say they are, because that's what cool kids do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so, Booms, do you have anything to add?
No, just thanks for sticking with us here. I know we've been very absent lately, but then again, it's real life gets in the way of the internet, but we're here.
Yeah. And plus, I've been twitching a little too much. Speaking of twitching, Boom Boom will be joining us soon. Boom, you excited to come on to Twitch KocoSports channel?
Yeah, I think I'm ready to go. Got my webcam ready to go. Got my microphone ready. Yeah, it's going to be fun.
Heck yeah. All right. Like, comment, subscribe. And with that, I am over. Hey, ba-dum-bum-bum.